To spiritually bypass is to use spirituality to avoid, suppress, or escape from uncomfortable issues in life. Those issues could be anything from loss of a loved one or a relationship, childhood abuse, self-sabotaging behaviors, feeling isolated, low self-esteem, or fear in general. It could be summed up as running away from our problems, whatever they may be. Sometimes spirituality can be used as a sort of drug we can become addicted to, because it allows us to keep avoiding the dark aspects of ourselves we don't want to acknowledge. If spirituality is used to avoid dealing with our personal demons, it prevents us from developing courage, authenticity, and wholeness. The truth is, contrary to the popular buzzword, not everything in life is love and light. Living an enlightened life also must include setting ourselves on fire, so to speak, to burn away false beliefs and illusions, which allows us to then destroy every limiting thought we have had about ourselves, others, and the world. Spirituality is not always pretty. It can leave us feeling shattered by the testing that takes place. There are a few types of spiritual bypassing that we may hesitate to acknowledge. There is no shame to take on if you see yourself in one of the following behaviors. After all, to heal and move on, we must first recognize something needs to be healed in the first place. Optimistic bypass is the people who use optimism as a way to avoid dealing with chaos, conflict, and troubles in their life. It is often a byproduct of anger and an inability to deal with negative emotions. This is the love and light category. Number 2, to mask perceived deficiencies and insecurities, some assert their superior enlightenment and existence on higher planes than others. This can be self-proclaimed masters, leaders, teachers, gurus, or spiritually awakened seekers. Number 3, victim bypass. This is people who believe because of their gifts they are unable to live happy and satisfying lives. An empath who blames their misery on the people whose energy they pick up is an example. It is a failure to take responsibility for their own energy management. Number 4, while some believe using psychedelics or hallucinogens is a way to have enlightening spiritual experiences, the drugs can also be used as a way to escape reality and commitment to personal development. Number 5, turning too often to external influences for guidance can keep us from tapping into our own wisdom and strength. Consulting psychics and astrologists often stems from mistrust of ourselves, our own judgment, and our decision-making abilities. Number 6, believing that we must always be kind, compassionate, and saintly can cause tremendous suffering. Seeing our dark sides as unspiritual is basically avoiding the shadow work that is necessary to come to full acceptance of ourselves. Self-sacrifice is often seen in this type. Believing that any being alone protects us, whether it be God, angels, animals, spirit guides, can be constricting to the soul. Putting our faith in another to keep us safe allows us to avoid responsibility for ourselves and keeps us from developing courage and resilience. While praying can be a healthy practice, it can circumvent personal responsibility. Expecting a higher being to solve all of our problems can become limiting and misguided, even disempowering when we see ourselves as helpless. By treating the words of a guru, spiritual teacher, or mentor as irrefutable truth, not thinking for ourselves, we deprive ourselves of true spiritual growth and transformation. When we become focused on everything that is wrong with the world and other people, Finger pointing gives us a false sense of righteousness. We abdicate our responsibility to look within and work on ourselves. Finger pointing stems from fear and avoidance. Spiritual bypass is tricky. It can take ruthless self-honesty to see through the lies we've been conditioned to believe or have told ourselves.